Hello, this is Ben Dunn, founder of Antarctic Press, a publishing company established in 1985. Creator such comics as Warrior Nun, Ninja High School, Mighty Tiny, and the Marvel Mangaverse, and a host of others. So today, I'm going to do sort of a Flashback Friday where I talk about stuff that Antarctic Press have done in the past, and take you on a little nostalgia trip. So, back in the early 90s, the independent comic industry was recovering from the black and white bust, and things were moving along quite swimmingly. So, people were starting to introduce new ideas and concepts to the independent comic industry. One of the things that were being introduced were adult comics. Now, at the time, the relaxation of the comics code, or the total abandonment of it in the indie comic sphere, was one of the things that allowed independent comics to thrive. We were not beholden to the comic book code authority, or any other authority for that matter. Publishers could publish what they want. It was just a matter of whether comic stores were willing to carry it. Now, at the time, in the early 90s, most distributors were willing to carry adult comics. They didn't have any problem with that, to be honest. And at first, they started to sell. People started picking them up. We were noticing that, at least Antarctic Press was noticing that comics with adult themes were doing quite well sales-wise. And this was the start of a trend of doing adult comics. Now, this was the days before the internet, and things like that. So the only way to get adult comics was through comic book stores, which at the time, I guess, were not as beholden to community standards and such, and didn't have a problem really carrying it, and neither did the distributors. At first, Antarctic Press started getting into adult comics very, 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 dipping our toes in it, and we were releasing a few adult comics under the Antarctic Press imprint. We found this to be a little bit detrimental, to our brand, and we didn't want to really taint it with doing a lot of adult comics. In other words, we didn't want to get a reputation of just doing adult comics. We noticed that furry adult comics were doing very well, and we decided to expand and did doing other adult comics. Now, recently I went to Japan and talked to several publishers also to carry adult manga as well. So we were trying to expand our line and try and dip our toes in it. So we decided in the around 1992-93 we were going to create a separate imprint called the Venus Comics line. Now, this Venus Comics line solved several problems. One, it didn't taint the Antarctic Press name itself for getting a reputation in doing adult comics, and it allowed us the freedom and flexibility to release adult comics without any hindrance to for getting a reputation. So it didn't matter to us whether the Venus comic line was known for adult comics. And in fact, we encouraged it. So one of the infamous, or one of the most well-known of our adult comics, our adult manga, was Bondage Fairies by Condom. Now, at the time, adult manga was very, very rare. Nobody had ever really seen it or experienced it before. When I was in Japan, I had a friend of mine introduce me to several small publishers who were known for doing adult comics, adult manga. They were very small publishers, and we were able to negotiate deals to reprint some of their adult manga here in the United States. Now, adult manga in Japan was very popular, and we were able to negotiate some deals and brought some adult manga here, and we did very well with them, at first. But of course, like all things, trends died out, and once the exclusivity started to come in, and people started to become aware of adult comics being carried in comic book stores, more and more comic book stores began to downsize their orders, almost to the point where they were no longer ordering adult comics anymore for whatever reason. But it is a little chapter, an interesting one in Antarctic Press's history, and one that I'm not sure it was ripe for revival, but with the changing tastes and things nowadays, who knows? But it was an interesting part of our Antarctic Press history, and one that whether you liked it or not is part of it. So until next time, this is Ben Dunn signing off.